Hey everybody, Andy's Free Guitar Chart videos here. This is going to be part 3 of the lesson on diminished chords. And we got 2 segments done yesterday. And they appear to be normal length, which means there were no edits. I know I was talking a little bit about the world. And, just wanted to give you a little background that I don't just do music, but I did a lot of music in college, even though I did electronic music as a senior design in college, and worked with some guys from the Middle East. Good guys, you know. So anyway, these days that's not a hard thing to determine. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? So, chart 483. Now I've made this 8 ball here. 8 ways to find half-diminished chords and counting. Uncounting, really. I've gone back to one of the original ways I heard on a video. One of the teachers, I think it was Sandra somebody in Germany, was saying how to do them, and I said, no, that's not how to do diminished chords. You can't take the B minor and then just lower its fifth, because the B minor isn't in the root C modal system. Okay, but that's one way to find it if we want to find the diminished chords and then learn it from there. Okay, so there are like 8 ways. We're going to review them. So let's do it. The number 1 way, as we talked about originally, we can rise this up. It's going to rise up over me. Maybe not. Interval method, half diminished 7th chord, minor third plus a major third. Okay, I'm not sure how I do it on piano, but piano's not a guitar. I pretty much use the eyes. I gotta see those ivories. That's why I wouldn't like to be an accordion player, because they don't always get a good view of those keys, and that would upset me. I've always liked to put my eyes on the chord, pretty much look for the C and then go right below it. So interval method, half diminished chords. But you know, on guitar, if we start with a B here and go minor third, major third, if we want to make that chord, the subject of this, can't even get it right. I can do the spread, but I can't get the sound. The subject of this chart is really how to make the diminished chords. We want to derive them. We want to find them easily in different ways, and then eventually memorize them, so that if you're in a particular cage, as you know, in the cage system, so let's say we'll start here in the D cage. Here's it, because I'm down tuned, so I can play this D shaped C here, D cage, and then the C cage, same sound, right? A cage, and then the G cage up here starts to get a little difficult, and the E cage here a little small, and then back up to the D cage way up here. Okay, that's the cage system, and in each one of those cages we just advance pentatonic scale. So starting in the D cage, we go to what? We go to an E minor shaped second. Okay, the third would be G minor shaped, which would go Okay, so now because of the capo, we can't get that G minor shape, so we might want to take that G minor shape up in the word cage. G goes to E minor, so we'd simply do this. There's another E minor shape that's up in the next cage. That is really the second minor of the C cage, right? E minor would be the third minor of the C cage. So that's your third minor, whatever cage you're at, right? Okay, well we just changed it. Why? Because we didn't have a minor down on the second here. So now it was major to a minor, which is likely fifth to the sixth, because we came down from that fourth. Something like that. So without further ado, let's look at the chart. This is really easy, it is. Here is a method, one of the methods. We'll call it the seventh minor shapes methods. And this is the one that Sandra, somebody, I mean, because we're talking about 2 years ago, and I haven't seen any of her videos since. Seventh minor shapes. So again, we're going out of the mode. We're just building a minor on the seventh. It'd be like a B minor, regular old B minor. Here's a E minor shaped B minor. Okay. Now usually the E shape is second inversion. Second inversion would be now remember it's the like that. I'm playing this cold. I just woke up a half hour ago. So this is, I'm struggling with the same things that y'all are, but when we get down to the open strings, you know, by the end of the day I'm playing so well, I wish I could record it for you. And I don't play all day. I just get inspired at the end of the day. So let's look at that seventh minor shape. That is one of the ways to do it. Now I don't know if I got a number on that or not. So it doesn't matter. I decided it doesn't matter how many ways there are. Well, let's look at these. And the most important thing to remember about these minor shapes is they are minor shapes. Kind of redundant, but so what we've got here is we're looking at different shapes. In the E box, here's our E shape. Now that F sharp's going to be the C letter, so it's just C7 2. There's our E minor shape, C7 2. Okay, right there. That's our little E minor shape. So that shape would be, here's the fret nut, here's the root. So it'd be C, but it's not there. The fret nut, it really isn't there. The fret nut would be there, and we're not even doing a fret nut right now. We're just looking at this B minor, this seventh minor shapes. So these are all bona fide minor shapes. C7 2. And all we're going to do is find those minor shapes. Here's the C shape, C7 2 3. Here we have the A minor shape, C7, right here, C7 2. Okay, that's the A minor shape right there. That shouldn't be going to that C. That C is there because it's on the open string. Okay, so what would that be? 3 4. Here's your fret nut. Your fret nut here. It would be right here. C would be right. Would be 5 flat. Just play that A minor shape right there. And all we have to do from there is drop that C to a